I discovered at the age of, basically, when I started remembering things as a child, let's say at the age of 7, my parents discovered, because my elder sister turned out to be SS. So when they gave birth to me, immediately they took me to the hospital. They ran a test, it was SS. But I was not having crisis, so all through the age from that 7 years I can remember things. I was not having crisis till around when I got to 10, 12, I started having crisis. I can even still remember my first crisis. It was in school. It happened in school. And then they had to rush me back home. Instead, I was feeling dizzy. So one guy, he was the tallest in our class and he was huge. So he had to back me on his back and take me home. And my mom was like, what's wrong with her? Said she almost slumped and all that. I used to even engage in sports, so I was doing normal. Like when I was a child, I was doing normal. So when I crossed 10, 12, I started having an attack. Maybe for just an hour. I have an attack for an hour. It would start to my waist, and then immediately they just give me normal diclofenac tablets. That subsided. I'm up and doing it again. But it seems mine was, as I was growing older, I was having more attack. The stigma started in school actually, because my dad, as usual, they don't stress us. So, and they don't flog us in school. So if you have a sickle cell child, if the person is in school, you have to tell the teachers, please, this child is sick. Please. She should avoid sport or any strenuous activities or something. So in school they told them we were sickle cell patients. So you can imagine in the class now, if they are flogging, they just bring us out. You are sick, you are not feeling fine. You stay, we will not punish you. Maybe during those general punishments, they will not punish us, so they won't flog us. They will flog every other person. At the time, other students will be like, why are they not flogging me? The teacher told them I'm sick. She said it's a lie, that they should be treating all of us equally. If they had flogged them, they should flog me too. Sometimes they'll even be making fun of me. Kids now then, they'll be making fun of me. They see you. If you have an argument with anybody, the person feels, if I slap you now, I'll just kill you and they will rush you to the hospital. So I don't even have time for you, Seth. So I've never engaged in a fight, because I know if I do, so I know they even try and bet. Most times you just be on your own and somebody will just come say, see you. Every time they are flogging, they will not flog you. You will just be there. You are sick. Before you know, the person will say, if I slap you now, they'll just carry you to the hospital now. You don't have any power. You don't have any strength. That was how it started, like play, from school down to secondary school. Doing the same punishment thing, strenuous activities. I was being given these preferential treatments. They were seen as preferential treatments, but we knew why, and some teachers knew why it was like that. So everybody that knew, just very few people that knew what was happening. But I guess that was how it started. But most of my attacks starts in the middle of the night, around that kind of 12, 11, 10. So it's always at home, or maybe when I come back from school and we're having a siesta or sleeping or something. Once you wake up from that sleep, that's when I tend to have an attack. In fact, all my siblings, that's the regular time we have attack in the house. That time, that 12, that 11, 10, in the night, mostly at night when we're sleeping. Automatically the crisis come when you are resting. That's when you feel the pains. On a normal day, if you're doing your normal activities, you might not feel the pains in as much as you feel the pains when your body is resting. So most of the crises I've had, most of the attack I had, it was the beginning of the night, and I was lucky to be at home. Highest, maybe the next day I won't go to school. But when I started having those attacks in school, when I got to my tertiary institution, immediately I feel those symptoms, because it will give you symptoms before you break down. That if you're careless about it and then you start feeling the pains immediately, what I do is I'll just apologize. If there was a lecturer in the class, I'll apologize. I'll be like, sir, I need to go home. I'm not feeling too well. And he'll be like, what's wrong with you? Then I'll tell him, this is my special patient. I need to rush. I'm having an attack. I'm in pains. The person just say, well, I'll go. Then I'll rush back home. Usually, my mom don't rush us to the hospital. We have nurses in the area. So they will come and give us something like a first aid. Is when she sees it's not working. And then she'll say to her, if it had exceeded 1, 2, 3 days or one day, 24 hours, you're still crying, you're still in pains, she'll be like, oh, this one is hospital matter. Let me take you to the hospital. Then that's when she'll take us to the hospital. We are 4, 2 boys, 2 girls, and all of us, we all have sickle cell anemia. We're all sickle cell anemia. I'm the second born. My elder sister is the first, then I have 2 younger brothers. And we're all sickle cell. It's just that for my elder sister, her case is chronic. Then my immediate younger brother, his own too was kind of chronic. But now, they say he worked with age, but then, I don't know. But now it's not like before he breaks down. The person that breaks down now is our last born. He breaks down more often. He's 20 years. And he was just like me. He was not having crisis. His own started when he was in secondary school, when he was in SS2. That's when he started having attacks and crisis. He never had any crisis throughout when he was growing up. At the time, the result was showing SS. My mom said, oh, he's not falling sick. Maybe there was a mix-up in the result. At the time, she had to take him to different hospital to go and test his genotype, but it was actually SS. So he's now like this. That's when he's now having attack. If, like for we as siblings, if one person is sick and is in pains, don't be surprised. After 1 or 2 hours, another person can tell you he's feeling pains. Because it works with your thinking, your imagination. So you know what the pain is like. So you're not trying to put yourself in that person's shoes. Automatically, you're not even creating the pains in your head. Before you know, that tension you're having for that person will make you even start falling sick. So we know what we're passing through. So if one person is sick in their house, even if it's in the middle of the night and we cannot go to the hospital, everybody will be awake. Nobody will sleep. My mom will bring hot water. We'll use hot water. If there are no drugs, no normal small first aid drugs like diclofenac tablets at home, because there are times when we run out of it at home. So, and then somebody falls sick, what we do is all of us will be awake. Before you know, this one, when it starts with everywhere. You'll be feeling everywhere is paining you. There's no specific place. You'll be feeling everywhere is paining you. Your waist, your back, your legs, your hands. In fact, they ask you start complaining. My mom will be like, hey God, I don't enter again. Which one I will massage? Where will I massage? Where is paining you? Before you know, 3 of us will round the person. This one will hold leg, will be massaging. This one will hold hand, will be massaging for each other. In fact, there was one time, it happened that all 3 of us had an attack within the same period. We all had malaria. So we all had attacks. So, it will give you relief small, and then later it will come. So that time we are feeling relief. You lie down, another person is sick, he's near you. You'll be massaging for him. That one too, later his turn will reach, he will massage for you. That's how we're doing for each other. Because we understand what we are passing through. So even if one person is in pains, and it starts in the middle of the night, before you know, everybody is crying, everybody is making phone calls. Please come and take us to the hospital. So the person is sick. We don't let the thing get to the stage where, when you allow the thing, when you don't attack it immediately, when you start feeling those pains, when you allow it, and then you be like, let's manage the pains. You didn't give the person any medication. That moment, you won't be able to recover on time. That's when you take like 2 to 3 days. You'll still be feeling the same pains in one particular place. Maybe at first it starts with everywhere in your body. Maybe along the way, before you know, you realize that it will just go and hold one particular place in your body. It could be your hand, just hold your leg. That leg will pain you for 3 days. And that's how to be using hot water on that leg till you recover. That's what my mom does. Even in the hospital. She doesn't joke with hot water flags because of that massage. Even if it's not my siblings, if I meet with another sickle cell patient and that person is in pains, I used to feel it automatically. Before you know it, I'll start feeling pains too. Because I know what that person is passing through at that moment. I've been in that person's shoes. So if I see any sickle cell, whether it's my sibling or not, I used to feel their pains. Let me not lie, when my dad was alive, we were okay, we were doing well to some extent. He was a banker, everything was moving smooth. We go for our regular checkup, our lectures, health maintenance, our diets. We have our diets. We stick to the diet. We stick to the rules and regulations, because then he was doing. My dad doesn't joke with our diets, our drugs. He doesn't joke with. We attend our lectures every Thursdays. We don't go to school. Let me not lie. When my dad was alive, we were okay. We were doing well to some extent. He was a banker. Everything was moving smooth. We go for our regular checkup, our lectures, health maintenance, our diets. We have our diets. We stick to the diet. We stick to the rules and regulations, because then he was doing. My dad doesn't joke with our diets, our drugs. He doesn't joke with. We attend our lectures every Thursdays. We don't go to school. We go to the hospital. We do checkup, collect drugs. But when he died in 2005, that was when the table turned around. It was just my mom. Yeah, he left something for us, but because we're from a polygamous home, so even the properties when they were sharing, we actually got some extent. When my mom relocated from Kano to Jos, she had to spend most of the money trying to fix a place where we'll be staying without paying rent. So that's where most of the money went. So now we are finished building this house. We are staying there. She enrolled all of us in new schools. We stay at school. So that was where the challenge started. It wasn't easy because my mom couldn't save. She couldn't save. Till today, my mom does not have any savings. Why would she save? Because now, will she think about the drugs we're going to be taking? Will she think about her studies, her education? You know, at the time, her siblings were like, "So, since we are sick, she should not bother sending us to school. She should not stress herself. Once we are done with our secondary school, she should just find any skill for us. We should just go and learn handwork. And we are even girls safe. Once I marry, my sister marry, the burden will be less for her. So she should not bother herself." My mom said, "How will you say I should not send them to school?" At the time, do you know, told her that what if we die? She will waste money sending us to school for nothing. She said, "My children will not die. None of them will die. In fact, sickle cell will not kill any of my children." That's what she told them. Her own siblings were telling her this. Even outsiders were telling her the same thing. But she couldn't save. Because she was even running. It was time her business, the business she brought from Kano, she was into all these plastic, all these local pots, those big local pots for wedding. She was selling them. When she came back to Jos, we ran down that business on sickness too and drugs. Because it's as if every month my mom is in the hospital. Is this one today or is that one person tomorrow? Every month, one person must be in the hospital. And you know what it's like when you know how much you spend when you're in the hospital. Talk more of this one today, this one tomorrow. At the time, everybody know my mom. Once they see Keke Napep dropping my mom with flags and everything, they know somebody's down. It affected my mom psychologically, but I used to say, "Bah, my mom is a very strong person." Sometimes I used to wonder the kind of heart and body my mom had, because if it was another person who does not love her children, or even if she loves her children, trust me, when it got to that stage when things were difficult, she might even have BP, run mad, or even run and leave all of us. You know, people do that because people have discouraged her. Stop killing yourself. When we are sick and she's telling them, "Please take these people to the hospital. I don't want to lose my child." They'll be like, "Are you every time you be saying they should take them to the hospital? You will not even wait. Let's watch the condition for 2 days at home. You will be rushing them to the hospital. And it's not like you have money. And later you come and be begging us for money. Wait, let's see the condition first." My mom said, "I cannot leave my child after crying for 24 hours from morning till night. I'll not leave the child at home. I'll not take that child to the hospital." Why? At the time, my mom will sit down in the hospital frustrated. She has taken us to the hospital. She does not have money to pay for the bills. She'll just sit down. She'll be waiting. She'll be thinking. I think the people that came to my mom's aid were our church members. So they were the ones that covered most of our hospital bills. Most of our hospital bills, they covered it for her. So it's when they come and they see her, she's restless, she's confused. In fact, there was one day my mom had to dodge. She said, man, she just told my brother, see, I don't have money to pay these people today. I'll come back and pay them. Let's follow backyard and go. She be you are feeling okay. Say yes, carry a bag. Let's go. That's how she did. She came back home. And then went back and paid them their money and settled them. She came back home with my brother, settled them, and then she went and paid them and came back again. So I used to wonder at a time when I was growing up. I told her that, okay, since we're all sick, I won't let you just suffer alone. I'll stand for you. I told my siblings, I said, I'll stand for all of you. I guess I'm the strongest among all of you. Not like I don't break down. I break down. I can break down like all of them. But when it comes to hard work, I don't allow sickle cell to limit me. I feel I can do everything. If this person is doing this thing, I feel I can still do it. It's just that highest. After I do it, I can break down. After I break down, I'll still stand up and I'll move on. So I came into the picture at a very young age, at the age of 16. After I was done my school, I finished my secondary school quite early at the age of 16. I started working to support my mom. I think that was why she didn't even break down. I started working at the age of 16 to support my mom, and what also kept her going was the fact that in the night, after her hustle, after the stress, she would just lie there on the couch. She would just subscribe. She subscribes the TV. You see her watching the TV till she sleeps off. Now my mom is 50. She's 54. But if you're going to compare her with her age mates, you realize that my mom is weak. You know, when you have overstressed yourself, overstressed your body, trying to make money, and then aside making money, you're still struggling with 4 sickle cell patients. My mom has gotten to this stage that my mom cannot even walk fast anymore. If she's walking, sometimes we'll leave her behind. If we're coming back from church, we'll leave her behind. It's now that the things start telling on herself. The BP start coming now. She gets BP, sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low, but most times it's high. When it's high like this, you know, she cannot do anything. You tell her to stay away from stress. That her body is so stressed that whenever she has high BPs because of the stress. So currently my mom is so weak that even myself, if she's walking or she's doing anything stressful, I'll be begging her, it's okay, just go and rest. You have tried, just rest. Because there was a couple of times she almost fell down in the market. You know, when your BP is high and you didn't check, you know, it gives you this dizziness and then you fall down in the market. She fell like twice. It's just that she didn't pass out. She fell and she stood up. People were around. She stood up. She walked herself back home before we now took her to the hospital. It's been like that off and on, off and on. But now it's now that it's now telling on her because she's aging. You know, now people will say body no be firewood. It's true. Definitely she's human. If psychologically it didn't affect her, physically it will. So now it's telling on her body. It didn't affect her physically and mentally it didn't, because she got used to it. She got used to it and she said, this is my cross, I will bear it. My mom doesn't make it affect her. Instead, she feels pity on us. She tells us she's sorry, it's her fault. We are like this because it's her fault. At a time when it comes to the aspect of marriage and discrimination, you know, most sickle cell patients get to this stage when you want to get married, not like the guy is not willing to accept you with your condition. The people around him keep discouraging him. You're sick, how will he marry the sickle cell patient who at the end of the day is going to die? Or leave you with kids, you'll be battling with innocent kids. Or okay, you don't have money, you are not financially buoyant, and 24/7 you are taking your wife to the hospital. How will you cope? And it's not like she said she's strong enough to support you financially. That one too affected my mom a lot. Till today, it's affecting her. She'll be like, own is we're aging, let's just get husbands. If the husband would be able to take care of us financially, health-wise, she doesn't have a problem. If we break down, even if we're in Lagos, she even did it when I was in Castina, when I was working in Castina with UBA, when I broke down, during that lockdown. She came. I passed out. I was out of my senses because the typhoid and fever was into me, and then I was still feeling pain, so I passed out. She was talking to me on phone, but she couldn't get. I was talking, she was hearing me, but she didn't understand a thing I was saying. That was how she started crying on the phone. She took 3 drops during that lockdown to get to Castina. 3 drops to get to Castina. She took from Zaria to Funtua, from Funtua to Castina. Just to come and see me. She met me in the hospital because I was admitted in the hospital. And I was alone in Castina, not like it's just me and my colleagues and my friends I made in the office. So she said, it's her cross. She's ready to take us, even if we get married today and we fall sick and she has to travel to Lagos to come and take care of us. She'll do that. So the husbands should not worry that they will always be in the hospital with me. No, she is her children. She'll carry her cross. It's her cross, her burden, except she dies. And she knows that God will not take her on time because He gave her 4 sickle cell children and she wants to look after us. If she cannot cater for us anymore financially, since we're doing okay to some extent for ourselves, at least what she can do is still support us physically. And she did. So I just feel my mom is a strong person entirely.